An investigation into the grotty gloves affair. PM urges all ASEAN nations to follow in the footsteps of Thailand for a swift reopening. And Bocelli is in, but Lisa hasn't yet been officially invited for New Year's concerts in Phuket. Plenty of questions around that particular event. All that and more on Thailand News Today. Tim standing in for Jet while he's suffering from a sore throat. The Thai government has formed a panel to investigate the export of millions of used medical gloves from Thailand to the US. The investigation follows a recent CNN report into the international trade of substandard medical equipment, with an underground industry having emerged in Southeast Asia, seeking to capitalise on COVID-fuelled global demand. Reporters found that tens of millions of counterfeit and second-hand nitrile gloves had reached the US. Now the PM has tasked the Deputy PM and Commerce Minister to head up the probe, with the issue having attracted plenty of negative international headlines. While no specific deadline has been set, in the absence of unexpected complications, the probe is expected to release its findings soon. The PM emphasised that exporting medical supplies without permission, including medical gloves, runs contrary to Thai law. Thailand's Health Ministry says the discovery of a new Delta Plus variant in Thailand will not affect the country's November 1 reopening. The ministry claims that the mutation has not been categorised as a variant of concern. The Deputy Minister said today that because viruses mutate all the time, only a mutation that causes severe illnesses and makes the virus spread easier or become resistant to drugs that treat the Alpha and Delta variants is considered significant. He went on to say that the discovery of the variant in Thailand was reported for the sake of transparency, and it's important to keep potential international visitors informed. Delta Plus was reported in a male patient in the northern province of Kampang Phet. The man was treated and has since fully recovered. PM Prayut Chan-o-cha is stressing that Southeast Asian nations follow Thailand's lead in reopening borders to get tourism back up and running for the region. Prayut addressed the issue via teleconference at the annual ASEAN summit, which this year is taking place online, telling other members the region should be weighing up steps to allow for safe travel to revive its economies. Prayut also said the ASEAN Travel Corridor Arrangement Framework, designed to facilitate business travel among members, should be put into practice. He pointed to the requirement for mutual recognition of vaccines and vaccine certificates, enabling business travel at first and later tourism. Prayut added that Thailand intends to submit the instrument of ratification for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, designed to deepen ASEAN's engagement with a number of partners next month. The RCEP, which includes the ASEAN countries, plus China, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea and Japan, will form the world's biggest trading economy. Okay, out and about once again with Sean Stenning from 5 Star Marine. Back to the program soon, but Sean, this is one of the most popular locations for people who want to do an island trip. Yeah, popular because it's close, and there's a great mix on this island. There's some great snorkeling, both front side where we are now and backside, beautiful beach, water sports. Great news though is that while it's popular, it's still really quiet. Well, it is at the moment, so it's a good time to come out here. This is only, what 10 minutes from Chalong? Yeah, yep, 10 minutes from Chalong, and in our dolphin and snorkeling program, this is our second stop. It's a great spot for lunch. The food here is amazing. So you got the food, you got the snorkeling, you got all the activities. Longtail boat that seems to be getting very close. So there's plenty you can do at Coral Island, also known as Banana Beach. Yes, that's correct. In fact, my wife orders lunch from here every day, so my crew bring it home. That's how good the food is. Okay, catering solved at the Stenning household. All right, Sean Stenning from 5 Star Marine. The islands are open. 5 Star Marine is ready to take you out there. So you know what to do. Here's the booking location of the website. And back to more of Thailand News Today very soon. In other ASEAN summit matters, the exclusion of Myanmar military leaders from the ASEAN summit is looming over the annual regional meeting. The Thai PM noted that the role of the regional association in addressing the Myanmar fiasco is of paramount importance, with action taken to have a bearing on ASEAN's credibility in the eyes of the international community. The ASEAN chair, Brunei, offered a seat at the summit for a non-political representative, but the Burmese junta said it would be the army chief or no one. A number of regional leaders have weighed in on the issue, with Cambodian PM Hun Sen stating ASEAN had not expelled Myanmar from its framework, but rather Myanmar had abandoned its right. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden, speaking at the summit, expressed grave concerns over violence in the country, calling for the release by the military of unjustly detained people. Thailand's PM said that compromise on the part of the Myanmar military will be an important first step in the process of confidence building. The CCSA spokesperson today said that Thai residents shouldn't worry about the country's imminent reopening to select countries. From November the 1st, vaccinated tourists from a list of 46 low-risk countries can enter Thailand with minimal quarantine. They'll be required to show evidence of being fully vaccinated and have a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours of departure from their home country. They'll then be tested again after arrival and will need to wait in the hotel until they receive a negative result. The minister said there's no need for residents to worry, as initially flights will be limited and tourist numbers will not be comparable to pre-pandemic levels. Never a truer word was spoken. While local industries have broadly suffered during the COVID pandemic, apparently the used car market in Thailand has been doing very well. The Association of Used Cars says the pandemic has contributed to strong market growth. With commuters fearful of catching the virus on public transport, many have decided to buy a car. According to the association, the pandemic boosted market growth by 20 to 30%, following 10% average yearly growth prior to 2019. The association president noted that the market typically grows slowly at around 1 to 2 million vehicles a year. However, it had received an unforeseen boost sparked by COVID-related anxiety, with used cars a particularly attractive option for buyers on a budget. And Thai-born K-pop star Lisa Manoban from the band Blackpink is being officially invited to perform during New Year celebrations on the southern island of Phuket. The cost won't be cheap, but the government's defending the move. The tourism minister says the superstar's presence will help promote Thailand's reopening to the world. He said that the main key reason for bringing global artists to the New Year celebration is to announce to the world that Thailand is ready to fully reopen for tourists from everywhere in 2022. The Tourism Authority of Thailand says they've been in touch with the star's representatives, as well as those of Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli, whose attendance has already apparently been confirmed. It's understood officials are liaising with the Korean embassy in Bangkok to invite Lisa as an official guest of the Thai government. Both Italy and South Korea are in the list of the 46 approved countries. It hasn't been revealed if the two superstars will have to go through the Thailand Pass process. Meanwhile, the tourism minister says the New Year event will happen around the Saracen Bridge, which joins Phuket to the mainland. The Thaiger wonders if the minister's ever visited the bridge or how on earth such a large concert could possibly be staged there. A lot more on that story to come in coming weeks. Well, that's all the latest from around Thailand on Thailand News Today. Hopefully Jet's back again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can catch up with all the latest news at thetiger.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll get alerts on when we've got new material. We look forward to seeing you next time.